Hello everybody, welcome to a new review by Reviews on Anything. My name is Peter and today we're having a look at the NUTRIBULLET Everygrain Cooker, as you can see here by the giant box. Now, I already had a rice cooker, but it only had an on and off button, so I upgraded to this one because it has a bit more variety in what it can do. What we're going to do here, we're going to have a quick look at the box. As you can see, very exciting with all the fancy dishes that we can make. We're going to look at the device and I'm going to show you a real world scenario on how I use this cooker. And in the end, I'm going to finish up with a problem that I have with this cooker. Now, besides the cooker, you get some accessories. You get a little measurement cup, you get a little obligated rice spoon, and you get this handy chart of cook times, which is actually quite handy because it's a 600 watt unit, so not the most powerful thing in the world. And it is basically trial and error to see how long things take to get ready. So the chart is actually quite nice, so you have an idea of what you're working with. Now, with the press of a button, we are inside the unit and we are greeted with the steam tray. As you can see, a little plastic affair. If you're into steaming, you could use this to steam some vegetables and some fish. Personally, I'm not that much of a steamer, but it's handy to have in a pinch, and why not include it. Here is the main cooking pot. That is where you'll be doing most of the work. Obviously, the main focus here is on this pot for me. You can see a little measurement indication here on the side that you'll probably never use, but nice that they included. And then you're just left with the bare unit itself. You can see that it is still nice and clean on the inside. I haven't been using it that long while I shoot this video, but it will get dirty over time even though you will clean it properly, hopefully. Now, taking these things out, I'm going to go straight to the biggest issue here, and that is this sealing rubber here on the top. I'll show you later in the video how that works in practice, and I'll zoom in at the end of the video. But that is the main issue with this cooker, is that moisture will accumulate in there, and then when you open it up, it'll all pour out. Which is not very nice, but other than that, I think the unit looks very nice and sleek. This definitely is not such a huge thing that you cannot leave it on your counter and run out of space. Even if you have a small counter area, then this is a very nice and stylish cooker to have standing around. You can see the control panel here on the front with a little display. I'll show you how that works in the practical part of the video as well. But I think this gives you a nice overall impression of the size of the unit. Some anti-slip feet on the bottom are quite nice, and this actually is meant to be picked up often because it has nice grab handles on the bottom. So all around a well-designed unit, and it actually does exactly what it says on the tin, which we're going to have a look at now. So here's a day-to-day example of how I use the cooker. I'm about to pick up the kids from school. It's a bit past 2 in the afternoon. We have a play date this afternoon, and right after we have to come home to eat slightly early to go to sports tonight. So we're not home in between, but I don't want to come home and then have to wait half an hour for the rice cooker to warm up and actually cook the rice, because that is going to make the schedule unnecessarily tight. So here we got the rice, simple white rice, already washed it, already added the amount of water that I like. Close this up, turn it on. It is white rice, hopefully the camera catches that. And then we're going to press the delay start button. So it is now a bit past 2. I want the rice to be ready at 5, and it's going to take about half an hour to cook, I know from experience. So we're going to need to delay the timer for 2 hours, and we're going to do 15 minutes. That is the delay until the rice cooker starts cooking. So by putting it like this, like I said, 2:15 now, it will start cooking at 4:30, which means the rice will be ready at 5, which is exactly what I want. Because we'll be home a bit before 5, and then the rice will be ready while I'm cooking the rest of the food. And then it's just a matter of pressing the start button. You hear the beep, and you can see here that it is blinking, so it will actually start in 2 hours and 15 minutes, and the rice will be ready right on time when I need to. So when the cooker is in operation, this is initially what you'll see. This means the cooker is heating up to the correct temperature to finish the program. In this case, white rice, you can see that it's working. All is going well, and you can actually tell that it's working by the steam and pressure vent here on the top. Hopefully you can see the actual steam on camera, but this is obviously to release the pressure from the inside since the lid is locked. Now let's have a look at the clock. It is 3 minutes to 5. The rice is almost done. We have 6 minutes to go, as you can see here on the timer, so the rice will be done on time as planned. And this is what you'll see, a countdown till it's finished from 10 minutes on in case of the white rice. Once it's done, it starts counting up. So when the program is finished, it goes into keep warm mode, and it is important obviously that you know how long it's been in this mode, how long your food has been done. So then from there on it starts counting up, which is actually quite a smart feature because then you have a good eye on how your food is doing. In this case, it's a minute and a half now that the food, or the rice in this case, has been, the program has been done and it's been sitting there trying to stay warm. And then you just press the button to open and your dish is ready. Now this works the same with all the programs. Once the program is finished, it will go into this stay warm mode. Now here is the problem I mentioned earlier. There's a rubber seal around the lid, obviously to keep the pressure and the steam inside. But when you open the lid, it hinges and it fills up here. And it spills over, because obviously there's more moisture going down due to gravity, and it spills over on the back of the cooker. Obviously there it sits, but it also spills over on the back of the cooker itself and on your stove. Here we can see it a bit more closely in better light. You can see that there's, even after cleaning and drying it off, there's still some moisture left in here. And it really is a design flaw, I think, because not only do you have to clean this up every time you use the cooker, you also have to make sure you clean it properly to prevent any kind of moisture from sitting there. Because if you don't use this cooker for a week, but this sort of murky, milky, leftover rice water sits there, then obviously that is quite a bad situation from a hygiene standpoint. It's going to stink, the rubber is going to deteriorate. It's all around not a good situation. So they should have fixed that in the design process. Other than that issue though, I'm quite happy with this cooker. It does exactly what it needs to do, even though it is not the most powerful thing in the world. I think this is a good purchase. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.